When I was about 15, 16 years old, he started to talk about the young people at the church, telling us that we should change our mind of how to think the thing, that we can change our situation, we can change our future. So he started to tell us that we should go to university, we should study. For our parents, that was something that was incredible because few of us have the opportunity to go to university.
He knows what more of the people in the battalions here go through, and he was the first one that decided really to help those people. And that idea has grown up so much that something that I love, and I would like to be like that. I would like to do something like that. That's why I respect him so much.
He was the pastor, he was the administrator too, he was the construction guy, he was our inspiration. I think this word will cover everything that I can say. He was an inspiration for me and all this generation who have my age.
The wide-body jet crashed in a densely populated section of Rockaway in New York City's borough of Queens. American Airlines Flight 587 had just taken off from John F. Kennedy Airport, headed for the Dominican Republic. A witness described what she saw.
So I looked out the window and I saw the plane nosedive, just come straight down in between the houses. I was able to see it just come straight down.
Thick black smoke could be seen from miles away as emergency personnel raced to the scene. Officials say 255 people were on board the Airbus A300 aircraft.
I was in college in my second year in University of Tampa.
Et puis la kailam de quitter pas de pièce mon nan kailam de quitter télévision allumée.
Something was telling me I was dragging myself. I didn't want to wake up.
Et puis le m'ouvri porte là, moi un avion qui prend du feu dans téléphone, dans télévision.
Well, that day I stayed in bed and the lady who cleans the bathrooms in the dorms, she said another plane crashed, and I just stayed in bed. So I just stayed in bed and started praying for the families, and I was thinking not one more tragedy, and I was praying for the families to give them, so the Lord would give them strength.
Et c'est Moïse qui relève m'a dit si me connait quel numéro vol pasteur t'a vini.
But she's like, you have to call. I'm like, you don't even know if it was going to Dominican Republic or anything like that. And she says, it was going to Dominican Republic.
Je dis, pas contre quel numéro vol là, mais cependant, il dit me la prendra à midi. C'est alors la petite que l'avion tombé.
My aunt picked me up, we went to Naples, and it's not until 6 o'clock in the afternoon or 7 that when we arrive over there, my aunt definitely tells us, your dad was on the flight.
Non, moment ça c'est pas un moment qui facile bon. Parce que maman de mon Dieu, pour qui ça? C'est moi ça arrivé, pour qui ça? Et non, bon, ça me dit, bon, je pensais me dire, la vie me finit.
Me and my sister, we just were unconsolable from that point on.
Et c'était un coup qui était dur pour nous. Et dans le moment ça, j'ai senti que c'est un cœur qui brisé. Et pas bien ça. Qui était capable de consoler nous.
I says, no way. I do not want to believe that. And I was watching the news. My heart was crying, but I says, I don't think Pastor Phanord was in this plane.
We were watching TV and they were talking about it, so I was like getting shocked, thinking oh, what's going on? That's real. Like something happened. And then in the news we started seeing the name of the people that died in the plane. And then I saw his name.
I'm start crying right away, but also I think on Elsa. Says if we start crying, who's gonna be helping Elsa?
He was the only person from La Romana who was on that plane that died. And so you saw that this whole community just like gather around Maranatha Church. I mean, they closed off the entire street in front of the church for his funeral, for his wake. I mean, it was, the whole community was mourning. They could not believe, of all people to die in a plane crash, Pastor Phanord.
I start praying right away. I says, God, I know you have a plan, because it was very hard. By then I called my wife and she was crying too. The entire church was crying. The community of La Romana was crying because we lose Pastor Phanord this day. I would think if he is watching us from heaven, he will be proud of his time teaching us. He will be proud of how he tried to help the young people from my church. He will be proud to start the hospital. He will be proud to see the church in Kilometer 6 that he started with Elsa, which is a church who have almost 500 people. He will be proud of the school in Batey 35 who is still there right now. You know, he will be proud of his church, Maranatha Church. He will be proud to see how many doctors, how many people are doctors today, and those young people start school because he helped them to start the school.